Tonight, we are going to explore something quiet and subtle, not something loud, not something dramatic. We are going to gently explore the dark psychology of manipulation and how people sometimes influence, shape, and quietly control the thoughts and behaviors of others. There is no urgency here, no alarm, no sharp edges, just understanding. Because understanding removes fear, and knowledge, when delivered softly, can feel almost like a warm light in a dim room. As you listen, you don't need to concentrate too hard. You don't need to remember everything. You can simply let the ideas pass through your mind like slow moving clouds. If you drift off at any point, that's perfectly fine. Your subconscious will continue listening in its own quiet way. Manipulation is not always dramatic, it is often small, ordinary, almost invisible. It can appear in conversations, in body language, in tone, in pauses. And tonight we will gently unfold 100 calm observations about how influence works inside the human mind. Not to create suspicion, but to create awareness. And awareness can feel surprisingly peaceful. So take a slow breath in, and let's begin. The subtle foundations of influence. Human beings are naturally social creatures. Our brains evolved to survive in groups, and because of that, we are wired to seek approval. This need for belonging is not weakness, it is biology. When someone approves of us, tiny chemical messengers like dopamine reward us with a small feeling of pleasure. Manipulation often begins here by gently attaching influence to our desire to feel accepted. And as we move gently forward, the brain prefers familiarity over uncertainty. Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. The more often we see something, the more comfortable it feels. Manipulators sometimes repeat ideas softly and frequently, knowing that repetition builds comfort. Over time, familiarity can quietly turn into belief. People tend to trust confidence, even when confidence is not supported by evidence. The brain often uses tone and posture as shortcuts to judge credibility. A steady voice can sound like authority. A relaxed posture can feel trustworthy. Influence sometimes hides inside calm certainty. And slowly, when someone mirrors your body language, sitting the way you sit, nodding when you nod, your brain registers similarity. Similarity feels safe. This is known as mirroring, and it builds subconscious rapport. You may not notice it happening, but your nervous system does. Compliments can gently lower critical thinking. When someone praises us, especially unexpectedly, our defenses relax. We feel seen, appreciated. In that relaxed state, suggestions can slip in more easily. Manipulation often rides on warmth and gently onward. The human mind dislikes cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable tension between conflicting ideas. If someone can guide you to make a small commitment, your brain may adjust your beliefs later to stay consistent. Small yes answers can slowly grow into larger agreements. Scarcity increases perceived value. When something feels limited, time, access, opportunity, the brain shifts into urgency mode. This is an ancient survival response. Manipulation sometimes introduces artificial scarcity to quiet rational thought. Authority symbols influence behavior. Uniforms, titles, formal language. These cues activate social conditioning learned from childhood. We are trained to respect authority figures. Even subtle signals can awaken that learned obedience. And as the rhythm continues, emotional contagion is real. The brain contains mirror neurons that respond to others' emotions. When someone expresses calm, you feel calmer. When someone expresses anxiety, you may absorb tension. Manipulators sometimes project controlled emotion to shape yours. People fear social rejection more than being wrong. This fear can silence doubt. If an opinion appears widely accepted, Many will conform quietly. This is known as social proof. We look to others to decide what is safe to believe. Imagine a quiet village at dusk. The villagers gather in a circle. One person lights a lantern, others follow. No one announces that lantern lighting is correct, but as more lights appear, the remaining darkness feels uncertain. Eventually, everyone holds a lantern. No one forced them. They simply followed the glow. And this is how influence often works softly, collectively, without sharp commands. And we continue. The psychology of subtle control. The foot in the door technique begins with a very small request. Once that small request is granted, a slightly larger one follows. The brain wants to remain consistent with previous behavior. Gradually, commitments expand without feeling abrupt. The door in the face technique works differently. It begins with an exaggerated request that is likely to be refused. After refusal, a smaller, more reasonable request feels acceptable by comparison. Contrast shapes perception. And slowly drifting forward, gaslighting is a subtle distortion of reality. It does not shout, it whispers. It may involve questioning someone's memory gently, repeatedly, until doubt grows. Over time, a person may trust the manipulator's version of events more than their own recollection. Intermittent reinforcement is powerful. When rewards are unpredictable, sometimes present, sometimes withheld, the brain becomes more attached. This pattern activates deep learning circuits similar to those involved in habit formation. Silence can influence conversation. A prolonged pause often creates discomfort. Many people rush to fill silence, sometimes revealing more than intended. Manipulators may use stillness as a tool, and gently onward. Framing changes meaning. The same information can feel positive or negative depending on presentation. Saying 90% success rate feels different from 10% failure rate, even though both are identical. The brain reacts to framing before analyzing logic. Fear narrows attention. When someone introduces mild anxiety, cognitive flexibility decreases. Under fear, people look for guidance. Calm authority offered at that moment can feel reassuring, even if the fear was artificially created. Anchoring bias occurs when the first piece of information sets a mental reference point. Later judgments revolve around that anchor. Even arbitrary numbers can influence perception, and with steady calm. Flattery mixed with mild criticism can increase dependence. A manipulator may praise often but occasionally withdraw approval. The inconsistency creates subtle insecurity, encouraging effort to regain favor. Group identity shapes belief. When ideas are attached to belonging, people like us believe this, disagreement can feel like exile. Manipulation often links ideas to identity. Picture a slow river at night. Leaves float along its surface. Some leaves move freely. Others get caught in gentle currents. They are not forced under. They are guided by subtle flow. The river does not shout at the leaves, it simply moves. Influence is often like that river, quiet direction, soft pressure, and we continue. The subconscious patterns habits form through repetition and reward. When behaviors are repeated in predictable contexts, neural pathways strengthen. Manipulators may try to create routines of communication that feel normal and comforting. Emotional memory is stronger than factual memory. You may forget exact words, but remember how someone made you feel. Influence often focuses on shaping emotion rather than logic. And slowly, love bombing involves overwhelming positive attention early in a relationship. The brain releases oxytocin, bonding hormones that deepen attachment. Later, control becomes easier because the attachment feels valuable. Projection can confuse perception. When someone accuses another of behaviors they themselves exhibit, it redirects attention. This can create doubt and emotional imbalance. Overthinking is easier when information is incomplete. Withholding clarity can create mental loops. A confused mind seeks resolution, sometimes accepting the manipulator's explanation simply to quiet uncertainty and gently forward. The sunk cost fallacy keeps people invested. When time, energy, or emotion has been spent, walking away feels like loss. Influence sometimes deepens gradually to make exits psychologically expensive. Subtle isolation increases dependence. If someone slowly distances you from alternative viewpoints, your informational world shrinks. Fewer perspectives mean fewer comparisons. Humans are pattern seeking. We try to make sense of randomness. Suggestion can shape what patterns we think we see. Reciprocity is deeply ingrained. When someone gives us something, even small, we feel a pull to return the favor. This instinct supports cooperation, but it can also be used strategically. Confidence paired with calm pacing reduces resistance. Fast speech can trigger alertness. Slow speech lowers defenses. Imagine sitting beside a fireplace. The room is dim, the air is still. Someone nearby speaks softly, evenly. You may not notice how your breathing synchronizes, how your muscles soften. The influence is gentle, not commanding, just present. And as we continue, the ideas unfold like pages turning quietly in the dark. Let the ideas flow past you like distant lanterns in the night. The architecture of suggestion. The human brain is predictive. It constantly tries to guess what will happen next. When someone subtly suggests an outcome, your brain may begin preparing for it automatically. This preparation can feel like your own independent thought, even when it was quietly guided, and as we move gently forward, priming is the process by which exposure to one idea influences response to another. If someone mentions words related to trust, warmth, or safety, your later judgments may tilt in that direction. Priming works beneath awareness like a faint scent in the air. Repetition reduces resistance. When an idea is repeated calmly over time, the mind grows less reactive to it. Eventually, the idea feels less like a suggestion and more like a background assumption. Gradual escalation is more effective than sudden change. The nervous system resists abrupt shifts but adapts to slow adjustments. Manipulation often advances in increments so small they feel natural. And slowly, selective attention shapes reality. We can only focus on a limited number of details at once. If someone highlights certain aspects while quietly ignoring others, your perception of the whole picture may shift. Language framing can subtly assign responsibility. Saying mistakes were made removes a clear actor. Passive phrasing blurs accountability. Over time, blurred responsibility creates confusion. Future pacing involves describing a scenario as if it is already unfolding. When someone says, "When you decide to join us," instead of "if you decide," the assumption is embedded in the sentence structure. And gently onward, emotional labeling influences experience. If someone tells you that you are overreacting, your brain may second guess its signals. Naming an emotion can either validate it or minimize it. Small acts of exclusivity increase attachment. Being told, "I don't tell this to everyone," creates a feeling of special access. That feeling strengthens connection. Shared secrets deepen bonds. Even minor private information creates a sense of intimacy. Intimacy lowers skepticism. Imagine a quiet library late at night. Only one lamp is lit. A single voice reads slowly, calmly. The listener feels chosen, included in something private. Nothing dramatic is happening. Yet the atmosphere shapes the mind. And we continue. The subtle use of emotions guide decision-making more than logic does. The brain's emotional centers, such as the amygdala, respond faster than the rational cortex. When emotion is engaged first, reasoning often follows its lead. Induced urgency compresses thought. When time feels limited, the prefrontal cortex has less opportunity to evaluate alternatives. Quick decisions rely more on instinct than analysis. And slowly drifting, guilt is a powerful social regulator. It evolved to maintain group harmony. When someone triggers guilt intentionally, they may be activating this ancient system. Fear of missing out creates perceived scarcity. Even when nothing tangible is disappearing, the suggestion that others are gaining something can create subtle pressure. Praise followed by withdrawal creates uncertainty. The brain seeks to restore equilibrium. Effort increases in hopes of regaining positive feedback. And gently onward, ambiguity can increase fascination. When information is incomplete, the mind fills in gaps. This imaginative participation strengthens involvement. Gradual desensitization lowers thresholds. Repeated exposure to mild boundary crossings makes larger ones feel less shocking. Identity reinforcement builds loyalty. When someone frequently reminds you of who you are, you're the kind of person who it strengthens a narrative. People often behave in ways consistent with that narrative. Contradictory signals create cognitive strain. Mixed messages may destabilize emotional footing, making external guidance feel stabilizing. Hope can override doubt. When a desired outcome is dangled gently in front of someone, the possibility can quiet skepticism. Picture a garden at twilight. Some plants grow straight, others lean toward the softest light. No one commands them. They simply orient toward warmth. Human attention does something similar. It leans toward emotional warmth, and we continue. Social structures and control humans instinctively scan for hierarchy. Even subtle cues, who speaks first, who interrupts, signal rank. Once hierarchy is perceived, behavior often adjusts automatically. Consensus can silence dissent. If everyone appears to agree, disagreement feels isolating. The mind may self-censor to maintain harmony. And slowly, in-group language strengthens identity. Shared slang, inside jokes, or specific terminology create cohesion. Cohesion can make external viewpoints feel foreign. Gradual boundary testing measures resistance. Small violations reveal how much pushback exists. Lack of resistance encourages further expansion. Information overload reduces scrutiny. When too many details are presented, the brain tires. Under cognitive fatigue, simpler narratives feel comforting and gently forward. Certainty reduces anxiety. When someone speaks with unwavering assurance, it can soothe ambiguity. In moments of uncertainty, confident direction feels safe. Emotional validation builds trust. When someone mirrors your feelings back to you, it creates alignment. Alignment lowers defenses. Incremental normalization shifts standards. What once felt unusual can become ordinary through repeated exposure. Strategic vulnerability can create influence. Sharing a controlled weakness may generate sympathy and closeness. Gradual dependence grows quietly. Small favors accumulate into emotional reliance. Imagine a staircase carved into a hillside. Each step is small. No single step feels dramatic. But after many steps, you are high above where you began. Influence often works the same way. Quiet steps, almost unnoticed, and we continue. The inner dialogue. Self-doubt weakens resistance. If someone repeatedly questions your perception gently, your inner voice may soften. Internal narratives shape reality. If you are told a story about yourself often enough, you may begin repeating it internally. And slowly, emotional exhaustion reduces critical thinking. When the mind is tired, it seeks ease over evaluation. Overexposure to one perspective narrows alternatives. Limited viewpoints create limited conclusions. Subtle comparison fosters insecurity. Comparison activates evaluation circuits in the brain, sometimes lowering self-assurance. And gently onward, conditional approval teaches compliance. When praise appears only after specific behaviors, patterns form. Delayed clarity creates dependence. When explanations are vague, resolution becomes externally controlled. Reframing memory can shift interpretation. Highlighting certain aspects of an event changes emotional tone. Language repetition builds internal rhythm. Eventually, repeated phrases echo internally without external prompting. Gradual emotional pacing synchronizes minds. When two nervous systems align in tempo, influence deepens. Imagine waves touching the shore. They do not crash violently. They arrive steadily. Again and again. Each wave shapes the sand a little more. And now, as we continue, the rhythm slows slightly. The voice softens further. The ideas drift like mist. In the next part, we will move even deeper into the quiet mechanics of belief, memory, and identity. Let the ideas arrive without effort. There is nothing to solve, nothing to defend against, only understanding. Memory, belief, and quiet. Rewriting memory is not a perfect recording. It is reconstructive. Each time you recall an event, your brain gently rebuilds it, influenced by your current emotions and context. This means memory can be subtly reshaped over time without you noticing the adjustments. And as we move gently forward, confidence increases perceived accuracy. When someone retells a story with unwavering certainty, listeners may adopt that version more easily. The brain often equates confidence with correctness. Repeated storytelling reinforces neural pathways. The more a version of events is repeated, the stronger its neural representation becomes. Eventually, alternative versions fade like distant echoes. Beliefs are often anchored to identity. When an idea becomes part of who I am, questioning it can feel destabilizing. Manipulation sometimes merges belief with identity to reduce flexibility, and slowly, emotional intensity strengthens memory encoding. If an experience is paired with strong feeling, but even mild excitement or anxiety, it becomes more memorable. Emotional pairing can deepen attachment to an idea. Narrative coherence comforts the brain. We prefer stories that feel complete and tidy. If someone offers a simple explanation for complex events, the clarity can feel soothing, even if incomplete. Selective emphasis shapes recollection. Highlighting one detail repeatedly can overshadow other equally important facts. And gently onward. False consensus effect makes us assume others agree with us more than they actually do. Suggesting widespread agreement reinforces this illusion. Memory blending can occur when repeated suggestions subtly merge with original events. Over time, suggestion feels authentic. Gentle correction repeated often can override initial impressions. The brain gradually shifts to maintain internal consistency. Imagine writing in soft sand. A breeze passes. Some lines blur, others deepen. If someone redraws the lines slowly again and again, the new shape becomes familiar. Memory behaves much like that sand, not rigid but gently adjustable, and we continue. And habits of thought. Thought patterns become automatic through repetition. Neural pathways strengthen like well-walked trails. Influence often attempts to redirect these trails gradually. Confirmation bias filters information. We notice evidence that supports what we already believe. A manipulator may feed this bias carefully and slowly. Binary framing reduces nuance. Presenting choices as only two options simplifies complexity. The brain appreciates simplicity and may overlook hidden alternatives. Emotional tagging influences recall. If an idea is paired with warmth, it feels safer. If paired with mild discomfort, it may be avoided. Gradual normalization shifts standards over time. What once seemed unusual becomes ordinary through repeated exposure. And gently onward, internal dialogue can be shaped by repeated external phrases. Over time, certain words echo inside without prompting. Subtle comparison to an ideal creates striving. When an ideal is defined narrowly, self-evaluation becomes dependent on that standard. Information pacing influences absorption. Slow, steady presentation lowers resistance more than rapid persuasion. Emotional reassurance can precede suggestion. When someone feels safe, openness increases. Ambiguity invites projection. When meaning is unclear, the mind fills in gaps with its own expectations. Imagine walking through a quiet forest path. The trail curves gently. You follow without thinking. Not because someone pushed you, but because the path is already there. Thought patterns can be like that path, shaped quietly over time. And now, we move even deeper. Attachment and subtle bonding. Attachment styles influence susceptibility to control. Those with anxious attachment may seek reassurance more intensely, making approval especially powerful. Intermittent attention activates craving systems. Unpredictable affection can deepen focus on the source, and slowly, shared adversity strengthens bonding. Even mild challenges faced together increase connection. Future promises activate imagination. The brain responds to anticipated rewards almost as strongly as real ones. Mirrored vulnerability builds trust. When someone reflects your disclosures back to you, intimacy increases. And gently onward, isolation from alternative feedback limits perspective. Without contrasting viewpoints, influence deepens quietly. Gradual value shifting reorders priorities. Small emphasis changes accumulate. Emotional dependency grows from repeated reassurance cycles. Consistency of tone builds reliability perception. Predictable rhythm feels safe. When belief, emotion, identity, and routine align, influence feels natural rather than imposed. Picture two clocks ticking side by side. At first, they tick independently, slowly. Their rhythms synchronize. This phenomenon, called entrainment, appears in nature. Human interaction can synchronize in similar ways. Breathing patterns, speech tempo, emotional states, and in synchronization, influence becomes subtle, almost invisible. Now, we begin to slow the pace slightly. The final section will not introduce many new ideas. Instead, it will gently wind down, revisiting, softening, allowing space. Let your breathing become slower. Longer exhale, no tension, just awareness. The wind down. The dark psychology of manipulation is rarely dark in appearance. It does not usually announce itself. It is not always loud. More often, it is quiet shaping, soft repetition, gentle framing, subtle emotional pacing. And yet, understanding these mechanisms does not require vigilance. It requires calm awareness. You now know that familiarity builds comfort, that repetition shapes belief, that identity anchors ideas, that emotion guides decisions faster than logic. You know that scarcity narrows attention, that authority cues trigger compliance, that small commitments grow into larger ones. And as you rest with these ideas, notice how they are not frightening. They are simply patterns of the human mind. Patterns designed originally for survival, for belonging, for cooperation. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Influence works because we are social, because we are connected, because we care about one another's signals. The same systems that allow manipulation also allow empathy, trust, love, communication. The mind is adaptable. It learns, it updates, it recalibrates. and awareness restores balance. If someone repeats something often, you can pause. If urgency appears, you can breathe. If confidence feels overwhelming, you can slow your thoughts. There is no rush. The brain functions best in calm states. Long exhale, soft inhale. The waves we described earlier, they shape the sand, but the tide also recedes. The shoreline reshapes again. Nothing is permanently fixed. And so, as this narration slows, allow the ideas to drift further apart, less dense, more spacious. Influence requires attention, and you are free to rest your attention now. You do not need to analyze. You do not need to evaluate. Just breathe. Slowly. The rhythm of your breathing is your own, steady, unforced. And if you are still awake, notice how your body feels heavier now. Supported, stable. Your mind, quieter. The understanding you have gained tonight does not demand alertness. It simply sits gently in the background, like a dim light, soft, warm, present, and now the pace becomes even slower, words spaced further apart, breathing deeper, in and out. Influence fades when awareness is calm, thoughts soften, muscles loosen. The room is quiet, you're breathing steady, and as the final words arrive, allow them to blur at the edges. Nothing to hold, nothing to resist. Just the quiet rhythm of your own mind. Drifting, settling, resting. Sleep now, softly, gently, at ease. Not to intensify, not to add urgency, but to move even more slowly into the quiet layers beneath influence. You are safe. You are calm. You are simply observing. Let your breathing remain steady. Let the ideas float lightly. The biology beneath influence. The human nervous system constantly scans for safety. This process, sometimes described through polyvagal theory, explains how we shift between calm engagement and defensive alertness. A manipulator who appears calm can signal safety, lowering your guard without you realizing it. And as we move gently forward, oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, increases trust. It is released during positive social contact, shared laughter, and eye contact. Trust feels warm and natural, yet it can also make suggestions feel more acceptable. Dopamine reinforces anticipation more than reward itself. When a future promise is hinted at, dopamine rises in expectation. That anticipation can motivate continued attention and loyalty. Cortisol, the stress hormone, narrows thinking when elevated. Mild stress can make quick solutions appealing. If someone creates subtle pressure and then offers relief, the relief feels amplified, and slowly. The prefrontal cortex handles rational evaluation, but it tires easily. When mental energy is low, we default to shortcuts. Influence often relies on these shortcuts known as heuristics. The amygdala detects emotional significance rapidly, even subtle cues. Tone shifts, facial microexpressions can activate it. These signals shape perception before logic has time to intervene. Neural plasticity means the brain changes with repetition. Pathways strengthen through use. Gentle repetition can quietly sculpt perspective over time. And gently onward. Mirror neurons allow us to internally simulate others' experiences. When someone displays emotion, your brain rehearses it. This shared resonance deepens connection. Synchrony, matching rhythm, posture, or vocal tone, calms the nervous system. When two people align physically, influence increases. Calm breathing slows heart rate variability, improving emotional regulation. A manipulator who speaks slowly can entrain your breathing without you noticing. Imagine two candles in a still room. At first, their flames flicker independently, but as the air settles, their rhythms begin to resemble one another. Soft, steady, Synchronized? Human systems respond similarly, and we continue. Section 12. Cognitive biases and quiet motion. The halo effect causes one positive trait to influence overall perception. If someone appears intelligent or attractive, other traits are assumed favorable. The availability heuristic makes recent or vivid information feel more common than it is. If a story is repeated often, it may feel statistically significant. And slowly, loss aversion means we fear losses more than we value gains. Suggesting potential loss can motivate compliance more strongly than offering reward. The authority bias encourages trust in perceived experts. Even subtle cues like professional language activate it. The bandwagon effect increases belief when others appear to agree. Social alignment feels safer than standing alone. And gently onward. The illusion of choice preserves autonomy while guiding outcomes. Offering limited options gives the appearance of control while narrowing direction. The contrast effect changes evaluation based on comparison. Presenting extremes can make moderate proposals feel reasonable. The repetition effect increases perceived truthfulness. Statements heard frequently feel accurate even without evidence. Cognitive load reduces skepticism. When multitasking or fatigued, we accept suggestions more easily. Framing identity around shared values deepens loyalty beyond logic. Picture a quiet marketplace at dawn. Vendors arrange their stalls. Some items are placed beside brighter ones to appear softer. Some prices are displayed next to higher numbers. Nothing deceptive at first glance. Yet placement shapes perception, and perception shapes choice. And we continue. Section 13, the rhythm of dependence. Dependence grows from reliability mixed with unpredictability. Predictable support builds trust, while occasional withdrawal strengthens attachment. Gradual emotional intensity deepens bonds more effectively than sudden intensity. And slowly. Shared language creates shared worldview. Words shape categories, and categories shape thought. Repetition of shared experiences builds inside references, strengthening exclusivity. Validation paired with guidance blends comfort with direction. And gently onward. Subtle humor disarms critical thought. Laughter relaxes mental defenses. Micro-commitments accumulate into identity shifts. Gradual reframing changes emotional tone around past events. Consistency bias encourages alignment with prior behavior. Emotional pacing synchronizes internal states. Imagine walking beside someone on a long road. At first, you walk at different speeds. Gradually, without speaking, your steps align. Neither of you consciously decide. It simply happens. Influence often feels like that alignment. Quiet. Unannounced. And now, we begin the final descent, even slower, even softer. The extended wind down. All influence rests on attention. Where attention goes, neural pathways follow. But attention is fluid. It can rest, it can shift, it can pause. Take a slow breath in and a longer breath out. The patterns we explored tonight, biases, hormones, repetition, attachment, are not enemies. They are features of the human mind. They allow learning, bonding, cooperation, even love. Manipulation is simply the shadow side of social intelligence, and shadows disappear when light is gentle. Awareness is that light. Not harsh, not blinding, just steady. If someone repeats an idea, you can notice the repetition. If urgency appears, you can slow your breathing. If authority speaks confidently, you can pause before accepting. No conflict required. Just space. Space between stimulus and response. Space where choice lives. Long inhale, soft exhale. Your nervous system settles. Your shoulders loosen. Your jaw unclenches. Your eyelids grow heavier. There's nothing to solve now, nothing to evaluate. The understanding you gained does not demand vigilance. It simply rests quietly within you, like a book placed gently on a shelf, closed, available if needed, but not urgent. Your breathing deepens. The room feels softer. The edges of thought blur. Influence fades in importance. What remains is calm awareness, and even that can soften now. Drift, slowly, comfortably, like a leaf carried on a still lake. No resistance, no urgency, just the quiet rhythm of breath, in and out. And now, let the final words stretch wider apart. Longer pauses, softer tone. You are safe. You are steady. You are free to rest, sleep now. Gently, deeply, at ease. Not because there is urgency, not because something is unfinished, but because the mind enjoys slow unfolding, layer after gentle layer. If you are still listening, let your body sink a little deeper. If you are drifting already, these words can simply become background, soft, distant, unimportant. The quiet power of environment shapes perception more than we notice. Lighting, temperature, sound, and even scent subtly influence mood. A calm environment lowers defenses, while a tense environment increases suggestibility in different ways. And as we move gently forward, physical proximity increases psychological closeness. Sitting nearer to someone often enhances trust and perceived similarity. The brain interprets closeness as safety. Eye contact activates connection circuits in the brain. Sustained, gentle eye contact can increase oxytocin release, deepening rapport. Shared physical rhythm, walking together, eating together, breathing at similar pace, increases bonding. Synchrony reduces perceived threat, and slowly, music tempo influences heart rate subtly. Slower rhythms calm the nervous system. Faster rhythms energize it. Influence sometimes rides quietly on background sound. Dim lighting can encourage emotional openness. Bright light sharpens analytical thinking. Soft light invites reflection. Repetition within a familiar setting strengthens association. The brain links ideas with context automatically. And gently onward, touch, when appropriate and welcome, increases feelings of trust. Even a light handshake influences perception. Spatial positioning communicates hierarchy. Standing above someone alters dynamic without a single word spoken. A calm tone paired with stable posture reduces perceived threat, allowing suggestions to pass with less resistance. Imagine a quiet room with warm light, a comfortable chair, soft air. You would likely feel more receptive there than in a loud, chaotic space. Environment is not loud influence, it is silent guidance. And we continue. Time and patience. Time is one of the most powerful tools of influence. Gradual exposure reduces resistance naturally. Patience can outlast skepticism. When pressure is absent, defenses soften over time, and slowly. Delayed rewards increase perceived value. Waiting enhances anticipation. Slow trust building feels organic. Sudden intensity can trigger caution, but gradual warmth feels safe. Micro adjustments accumulate invisibly. Each small shift seems insignificant alone. And gently onward, routine contact builds familiarity. Familiarity reduces perceived risk. Consistency over long periods builds credibility, even if content remains unchanged. Gradual language shifts reshape perception without abrupt contrast. Time allows doubt to fade when not reinforced. Patience can feel like sincerity. Pause. Picture a stone shaped by water. No single drop transforms it. But over months, years, the shape changes. Not dramatically, but undeniably. Influence often resembles that water. Soft, persistent, unhurried. And now we move deeper into the internal landscape, the inner sense of self. Self concept acts as a filter for experience. Information aligned with identity feels comfortable. When someone reinforces your strengths repeatedly, you may gravitate toward their feedback. And slowly, identity labels can guide behavior subtly. Being called responsible increases responsible behavior. Social roles shape expectations. Once assigned a role, people often act within its boundaries. Emotional safety encourages disclosure. Disclosure increases vulnerability, which can increase influence. And gently onward, narrative identity evolves over time. Stories we tell about ourselves shape choices. External validation can temporarily substitute for internal confidence. Consistency between self-image and action feels rewarding. When identity shifts, perception shifts alongside it. Awareness of identity reduces unconscious conformity. Pause. Imagine standing before a calm lake. You see your reflection. If someone gently describes your reflection differently, you might glance again. Self-perception is responsive, fluid, and we continue. Quiet resistance awareness interrupts automaticity. Simply noticing influence weakens its effect. Slow breathing increases cognitive clarity. And gently. Pausing before responding activates the prefrontal cortex. Seeking multiple perspectives broadens mental flexibility. Naming emotions reduces their intensity. And slowly onward. Boundaries expressed calmly maintain autonomy. Curiosity reduces defensiveness. Reflective listening restores clarity in conversation. Time away from stimulus resets emotional baseline. Confidence in one's own perception strengthens resilience. Pause. Resistance does not need to be loud. It can be quiet, measured, gentle, like placing a stone in a river to redirect flow, not fighting the water, simply guiding it. The gentle integration. Understanding influence does not require suspicion. The same mechanisms that enable manipulation enable empathy. And slowly, bonding chemicals build community as easily as they build dependence. Repetition teaches kindness as effectively as it teaches belief. Authority can guide wisely when used ethically and gently onward. Scarcity can motivate appreciation. Identity can empower growth. Framing can inspire hope. Synchronization can create harmony. Influence itself is neutral. Intention gives it direction. Let that settle softly. Influence is not inherently dark. It is a tool of social beings, and awareness transforms tools into choices. The final descent now. The pace slows again. Longer pauses, fewer ideas, more space. You have moved through many layers tonight. Biology, emotion, memory, identity, environment, time, all woven together in quiet patterns. There's nothing to memorize, nothing to guard against, just understanding. Take a slow breath in and let it drift out slowly. Notice the rhythm of your chest rising, falling. Your body feels heavier now, supported, still. Thoughts are less defined. Thoughts, edges softer. Influence fades into abstraction. Distant theory, no longer personal, no longer immediate. Just knowledge resting quietly in the background. Your nervous system settles deeper. Heart steady. Breathing slow. The room calm. If any thoughts remain, let them float past like clouds. No need to hold them. No need to push them away. Just drift. The mind naturally seeks balance. And balance is returning now. Gentle, effortless. The words become quieter, further apart. Soon there will be only silence and your own breathing. In, in, out. Nothing to analyze, nothing to anticipate. Just rest. Drift now. Slowly, peacefully, into deeper and deeper quiet. Only softness remains. No new ideas to carry, no new patterns to examine. Just a gentle settling. If you are still awake, notice how quiet everything feels now. The concepts we explored, bias, repetition, identity, emotion, have grown distant. They are no longer active thoughts, just faint outlines, dissolving. Take a slow breath in, hold it gently for a moment, and let it fall away. The mind, when understood, becomes less restless, not because influence disappears, but because awareness removes urgency. You do not need to scan for manipulation. You do not need to guard every doorway of thought. Calm awareness is enough, like standing on a hill at dusk, watching the lights of a town below. You see movement, but you are not inside it. You are above it, steady, still. Let your shoulders sink further, your jaw soften, your tongue rest naturally. The nervous system is quiet now. Earlier we spoke about repetition shaping belief. Now repetition becomes something gentler. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. No persuasion here, no shaping, no guiding. Only the steady rhythm that has always been yours. If any lingering thought appears, like about memory or identity or control, imagine placing it on a small paper boat. Set it on calm water. Watch it drift slowly away. There's nothing you need to hold tonight. The mind learns. The mind adapts. The mind protects itself naturally when calm, and calm is here. Influence works fastest in tension, but tension has dissolved. What remains is space, spacious awareness, soft darkness behind closed eyes. Your heartbeat steady and unremarkable. Safe. Even the word manipulation feels distant now. Just a concept. A chapter in a quiet book. And the book is closing. Not with a loud sound. Just a soft thud of pages resting together. Let your breathing lengthen slightly more. In. 2. 3. Out. 2. 3. 4. Slower now. Heavier now. The body sinking deeper into support. The mind releasing the need to think. Thoughts thin out like mist at sunrise. Fading, lightening, drifting. There is nothing left to explore. No more facts, no more analysis, just rest. A calm shoreline at night. Waves arriving gently and retreating gently. Arriving, retreating. The rhythm steady, predictable, safe. Your awareness floats with that rhythm, and even this voice grows quieter in your mind. Further away, softer at the edges, until it blends with the background hum of silence. Breathing in, breathing out. Long pause. Longer pause. And now, let sleep take over. Without effort, without thought. Just a natural descent. Downward, inward, into stillness, into warmth, into quiet. Now, there's almost nothing left to say. Only space. Only quiet. Only the slow rhythm of rest. If you are still here, still listening, notice how different the atmosphere feels from when we began. At the beginning, there were ideas, definitions, observations about influence and the human mind. Now, there is only softness. The knowledge remains somewhere deep within you, but it no longer asks for attention. It rests, like books placed back onto a shelf in a quiet library after midnight. No one is reading them now. The lights are dim. The air is still. Take one slow breath in. Let it expand gently into your ribs. And release it slowly, completely. The body understands how to sleep. The nervous system understands how to power down. You do not need to command it. You only need to stop interfering. The mind that once analyzed patterns of control is now drifting free of analysis. No evaluation, no scanning, no interpretation. Just sensation. The weight of your body against the surface beneath you. The subtle temperature of the air on your skin. The faint rhythm of your heartbeat. Earlier, we spoke about repetition shaping belief. Now, repetition shapes calm. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Each exhale slightly longer than the inhale, each pause slightly wider than the last. Imagine a vast open field at night. No buildings, no voices, only soft grass and an endless sky. Above you, slow-moving clouds drift across distant stars. Nothing urgent moves there. Nothing demands attention. You are simply lying beneath it, supported by the earth. And if a thought appears, a memory, a question, a faint echo of something from earlier, see it as one of those clouds. You do not chase it. You do not analyze it. You let it pass. The mind becomes quieter when it is not resisted. Influence loses power when attention rests. And your attention is resting now. Softly. Deeply. Even the concept of control fades. There's nothing to control here. No one persuading. No one guiding. Only you and your breath. In. Out. Long pause. Longer pause. Your eyelids are heavy now, even if they are closed. Your thoughts slower. The spaces between them growing wider. The body sinks deeper. The muscles of your face relaxed. Shoulders melting downward. Hands loose and still. You're breathing steady and automatic. This is the natural state. Calm awareness dissolving into sleep. The voice you were hearing becomes more distant. Less defined. Almost like wind through trees far away. You do not need to follow it anymore. You can let it fade. The shoreline grows darker, the waves softer, the sky deeper, and you drift further out on calm, still water. No effort, no resistance, just floating. Floating. Floating until even the idea of floating disappears. And there is only rest, complete, quiet, rest. Now, there is almost nothing left but silence. The journey through ideas has ended. The mind has slowed. The rhythm has softened. If any trace of thought remains, let it be light, weightless, unimportant. You are not analyzing now. You are not observing patterns. You are simply resting. Take one final slow breath in. Feel it gently expand your chest, and let it go. Longer than before. The body knows how to descend into sleep. It has done this thousands of times. You do not need to guide it, you only need to allow it. Earlier we explored how repetition shapes belief. Now repetition shapes stillness. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Each exhale like a soft wave retreating from shore. Your muscles are fully relaxed now, your forehead smooth, your jaw unclenched, your shoulders heavy, your hands resting naturally, your legs loose and supported. There is nothing to hold, nothing to prepare for, nothing to solve. The mind that once examined influence has released its grip on understanding. Knowledge is stored. Quiet, safe, but not active. The night around you feels wider now, like a calm sky stretching endlessly above. No movement, no urgency, only deep, stable quiet. If a thought appears, it dissolves before forming fully, like mist disappearing in cool air. You drift deeper, further away from language, further away from analysis, closer to pure rest. The voice fades. The pauses grow longer. The silence expands. In, out. Long pause. Longer pause. You're breathing now so slow it almost feels like floating. There's no need for awareness anymore. Sleep takes over gently, like a soft blanket drawn upward. Covering, warming, settling. You are safe. You are still. You are deeply at rest. And now, complete quiet. Drift. Sleep. There are no new concepts waiting. No additional explanations. No more patterns to examine. Everything that needed to be understood has already settled gently into place. You are no longer thinking about influence. You are no longer tracing the pathways of persuasion. You are simply here, breathing, resting. Let the breath become so soft that it barely feels like effort. In, slowly, out, even slower. The space between breaths widens. The mind drifts into that space. Earlier, we spoke about how attention shapes experience. Now, attention is fading, and with it, experience becomes softer, less defined, more distant. Imagine a quiet horizon just before dawn, the sky neither dark nor light, suspended in between. Still, you are suspended there now, not thinking, not analyzing, just resting in the in between. Your heartbeat steady, your body warm and supported, the room around you calm. Even the faintest sounds blend into the background. Nothing stands out. Nothing demands awareness. Thoughts that try to form lose their edges before they finish. They dissolve like ink in water, slowly spreading, then disappearing. Breathing in, breathing out. The rhythm steady and unchanging. There's nothing left to guide, nothing left to teach, nothing left to explore. The mind is done for tonight. It has released its need to process, released its need to understand, released its need to hold. And now it sinks. Gently, naturally, effortlessly, like a stone placed softly into still water. Descending without resistance, without urgency. Down into quiet, the voice becomes distant, almost indistinguishable from silence. Long pause, longer pause. Your breathing now the only rhythm that matters. Slow, deep, automatic, and even that rhythm begins to blur as sleep fully arrives. There are no more words after this, only rest, only darkness, only peace. Sleep now, deeply, completely. There is only the quiet. No structure, no sections, no facts waiting in line, just softness stretching in every direction. If you are somehow still awake, notice how little effort it takes to remain here. You are not holding ideas anymore. You are not organizing information. The mind has loosened its grip. Thoughts are slower now, further apart, like distant lights across a calm ocean at night. Breathing in, breathing out. The inhale cool and gentle, the exhale warm and long. Let the exhale be just slightly longer each time. That longer exhale tells the nervous system that everything is safe, and safety allows sleep. There is nothing influencing you now. No persuasion, no shaping, no guiding. Only your own steady rhythm. The body feels heavy in the best possible way. Supported, grounded, still. Your shoulders have dropped completely. Your hands are quiet, your face relaxed. Even the small muscles around your eyes have softened. The mind drifts further from language. Words lose their sharpness, they become sound, then vibration, then almost nothing. If a memory tries to surface, it fades before it forms. If a thought begins to organize, it gently dissolves. There is no need to follow it, no need to finish it. Let it remain unfinished. Let everything remain unfinished. Sleep does not require completion. It requires surrender. And surrender is happening naturally now. The space between breaths widens. In, pause, out, longer pause. Your heartbeat slow and steady. Your body warm. Your mind dimming like a light turned down gradually. Not switched off suddenly, just lowered. Lower, lower. Until it glows faintly, then barely, then not at all. You are floating now, not in water, not in air, but in quiet. The quiet beneath thought, the quiet beneath effort, the quiet that has always been there. There's nothing left to say, nothing left to explain, nothing left to soften. Only this final gentle rhythm. In, out, in, out. And then silence. Deep, complete, uninterrupted. Sleep now, fully, peacefully. Only the faintest whisper of sound remains. No more lessons. No more structure. No more exploration. Just the slow fading of everything unnecessary. If you are still aware of these words, notice how distant they feel. They no longer carry meaning the way they once did. They are softer now, almost like wind moving gently through tall grass at night. Breathing in, breathing out, the inhale shallow and effortless, the exhale long and dissolving. Your body feels heavier than before, not uncomfortable, just grounded, settled. Your arms resting exactly where they need to be. Your legs still, your chest rising and falling without thought. There is no need to guide the breath anymore, it moves on its own. Slow, steady, quiet. Earlier, the mind explored patterns and psychology. Now the mind releases all patterns. No analysis. No awareness of awareness. Just darkness behind closed eyes. If a thought flickers, it fades before you can follow it. Like a spark that never becomes a flame. The space between thoughts grows wider, wider, until there is mostly space. And inside that space, stillness. Your heartbeat calm. Your muscles completely at ease. Even your tongue rests gently at the bottom of your mouth. Your forehead smooth. No tension left to hold. The room feels distant now. The world outside no longer relevant. Time has slowed, maybe even disappeared. There's only this quiet descent. Soft, continuous, effortless. In, out. Pause. Longer pause. The voice is fading, almost gone. The silence underneath it growing larger. You do not need to listen anymore. You do not need to follow anything. Sleep is already taking you, wrapping around you, carrying you down gently into deeper rest, deeper quiet, deeper stillness, and now, even these words grow faint, further apart, barely there, until there is nothing left but darkness, nothing left but peace, nothing left but sleep. We continue, but very softly, not to introduce new complexity, not to add stimulation, only to create 15 quiet minutes where your mind can drift without effort. If you are already half asleep, that is perfect. If you are still awake, that is also perfect. There is nowhere to go, nothing to accomplish. Just rest. A slow return to stillness. Earlier, we explored how influence works, how repetition shapes belief, how emotion guides decisions, how identity anchors thought. Now, those ideas are no longer active. They are like footprints in sand after the tide has come in. Barely visible, softened at the edges. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Let it expand your chest gently, and release it through your mouth as if you are fogging a mirror. Longer on the exhale. The exhale is where the body relaxes. Again, in slowly, out, even slower. Feel how your shoulders sink just a little more, how your body grows heavier. Heaviness is good. Heaviness means you are letting go. The quiet mind. The mind loves to analyze during the day. It compares, it predicts, it evaluates. But at night, the mind prefers simplicity. It prefers rhythm, breath, darkness, soft repetition. If a thought appears about something you need to do, something you forgot, something you said earlier, imagine placing that thought into a small wooden box. Close the lid gently. You are not throwing it away. You are simply setting it aside until tomorrow. Tonight is for rest, nothing more. A gentle visualization. Imagine you're walking slowly along a shoreline at night. The sand is cool beneath your feet. The sky above is wide and dark, scattered with faint stars. You can hear the waves, not crashing, just arriving gently and retreating gently. Arriving, retreating. Each wave sounds like a long exhale. You walk slowly. There is no destination. No one else around. The air is calm. You notice your breathing matching the ocean. In as the wave approaches, out as it slides back, in, out. The shoreline stretches endlessly. You feel safe there, unobserved, unhurried, free from influence, free from expectation. Just you and the rhythm of water. The release of control. During the day, so much of life feels like control. Controlling schedules, controlling words, controlling impressions. But sleep requires the opposite. It requires surrender, not forced, not dramatic, just a quiet decision to stop steering. Imagine you are holding a rope. The rope represents effort. Slowly, you loosen your grip, finger by finger, until the rope slips gently from your hands, and you realize nothing bad happens when you let go. The body remains supported. The breath continues. The heart keeps beating. You do not need to manage it. Soft repetition for calm. Breathing in, breathing out. Slow, steady, safe. Breathing in, breathing out. Nothing urgent, nothing pressing. Breathing in, breathing out. Let your forehead smooth completely. Let your eyes rest heavily in their sockets. Let your jaw hang slightly looser. Even your tongue relaxes. The smallest muscles in your body are releasing now. The night sky. Imagine lying down on soft grass, the sky above you deep and endless. Clouds move slowly overhead. You are not chasing them. You are not naming them. You are just watching. One cloud drifts by, then another, then open sky again. Thoughts are like those clouds. They pass when you do not hold them. The sky itself, that wide, open space, is your awareness, stable, calm, untouched. The clouds never damage the sky. They only pass through it. And now, even the clouds are thinning. More sky, less movement, more stillness, less thought. The body sinks deeper. Feel the weight of your body again. Notice the contact points. The back of your head, your shoulders, your hips, your heels. Each point gently pressing downward. Gravity holding you, supporting you. You do not need to float tonight. You can sink. Heavier, warmer, safer. Your breathing now so slow it feels like gentle rocking. In, out. Pause. Longer pause. The final minutes. There are no more ideas, no more lessons, no more psychology to explore. Only quiet space. The kind of quiet that feels thick and comforting, like a heavy blanket in winter. The voice you are hearing is becoming less distinct, less important. It blends into the background. Soon it will be indistinguishable from silence. Let your mind fade into that silence. No effort, no pushing, just drifting, like a boat untied from the dock, carried slowly by calm water further from the shore, further from thought, further from effort, until there is only darkness, only rest, only the steady rhythm of breath. In, out. Long pause, longer pause. And now, let sleep take you completely, deep. And now, we move even more quietly. No structure, no analysis, no exploration. Just gentle space for a few more minutes of drifting. If you are barely listening, that is perfect. If you are already half inside a dream, that is perfect too. Nothing is required from you, only softness. The slowing, notice your breathing without changing it. Just observe. The air enters, the air leaves. There's a small pause in between. That pause is peaceful. That pause is where the mind rests. In, pause, out. Longer pause. Your body is deeply relaxed now. Heavier than before, warmer than before, safe. The muscles in your shoulders have completely released. Your hands are loose, your legs still. Even your thoughts feel heavy. Too heavy to continue forming. They begin to dissolve before they finish. A gentle image. Imagine a quiet cabin in the woods. Inside, a small lamp glows softly. Outside, the night is still. No wind, no movement. Inside the cabin, everything is calm. A chair, a blanket, a quiet room. Nothing needs attention. Nothing needs fixing. You are inside that cabin now, protected, wrapped in warmth. The world outside can wait. The night is holding you. The disappearing edges. The edges of awareness are fading. Sounds blur. Sensations soften. The boundary between body and bed feels less defined. You are sinking into comfort, drifting into that gentle space between wakefulness and sleep, where thoughts feel distant, where time feels stretched, where nothing demands clarity. Breathing in, breathing out. Each exhale longer than the last, each pause wider, the nervous system fully at rest, no alertness left, no tension anywhere. Your heartbeat slow and steady, quiet, reliable, soft. The final letting go. You do not need to listen anymore. The voice can fade now. You can let it drift into the background. The words are slower, further apart, less distinct. There is only calm, only warmth, only the steady rhythm of breath and heartbeat. If any thought appears, it is too slow to stay. It slips away, like mist fading in cool air. There is nothing left to hold, nothing left to understand, nothing left to do. Sleep is already here, just beneath the surface. Waiting gently, let yourself fall into it, without effort, without awareness, without resistance. In, out. Long pause, longer pause. And now, silence. Deep, soft, complete. We enter the longest stretch of quiet yet. No new knowledge, no new ideas, no new understanding required, only space. 20 gentle minutes where nothing is expected of you. If you are still awake, simply listen loosely. If you are drifting, let the words blur. If you are already deep in sleep, these sounds can dissolve into the background. There is nothing to follow, only rest. Settling the body again. Bring your attention softly to your breathing, not to control it, just to notice it. Air entering through your nose. Cool and light, air leaving through your mouth or nose. Warm and slow, let the exhale stretch slightly longer than the inhale. In, 2, 3, out. 2, 3, 4. Again, in, 2, 3, out. 2, 3, 4. Each longer exhale signals safety. Each slower breath tells your nervous system that it can power down. Feel your shoulders drop another small inch. Your jaw loosens. Your tongue rests gently. Your eyelids heavy and relaxed. Your forehead smooth. The weight of rest. Now notice the weight of your body, the back of your head supported, your shoulders sinking into the surface beneath you. Your arms resting without effort, your hips heavy, your legs relaxed, your heels still. Gravity is doing all the work. You do not need to hold yourself up. You do not need to stay alert. The world can continue without you for a while. This is your time to disappear into stillness. A slow ocean visualization. Imagine now that you are lying beside a calm ocean at night. The sand beneath you cool and steady. The sky vast and dark. Stars faint and distant. The ocean is not loud. It moves slowly. Each wave arrives with a soft hush. Then it slides back into the sea. Arriving, retreating. Arriving, retreating. Match your breathing to the ocean. In as the wave approaches. Out as it glides away. In, out. There is no one else on the shore. No footprints, no voices, no expectations. Only you and the rhythm of water. The air smells faintly of salt. The temperature is perfect. You feel completely safe. Releasing the day. If any memory from today appears, imagine it written lightly in sand. A wave approaches, and as it reaches the words, it washes them away. Nothing dramatic, just a soft erasing. The day is complete. You do not need to review it. You do not need to improve it. It has already passed. Another wave comes in, washes another thought away, again and again, until the sand is smooth, untouched, empty, and peaceful. The slowing of thought. Thoughts are becoming slower now. They take longer to form, longer to complete. Sometimes they fade halfway through. That is natural. The brain is shifting into sleep mode. Neural activity softens. Patterns slow. The analytical mind powers down. You do not need to help it. Just let it happen. In, out. Pause. Longer pause. Your heartbeat steady. You're breathing deep and automatic. The muscles in your neck completely relaxed. Your fingers slightly curled and loose. There's no tension left to release. You have already let it go. A gentle counting drift. We will drift downward slowly now. Not quickly. Not sharply, just gradually. With each number you feel heavier. More distant from wakefulness. More immersed in rest. 10. The body fully supported. 9. Breathing slow and steady. 8. Thoughts thinning out. 7. Shoulders melting downward. 6. The ocean quiet and calm. 5. Mind floating gently. 4. Heavier now. 3. Almost asleep. 2. Barely aware of words. 1. Deep calm. Floating in darkness. Imagine now you are floating on your back in warm, still water. The water supports you completely. You do not need to move. You do not need to swim. You simply float. The sky above you dark and endless. No wind, no current, just still water and open sky. You feel weightless and heavy at the same time. Supported from beneath, wrapped in quiet. Your breathing is so slow now it feels like gentle rocking. In, out. In, out. The water holds you. Sleep holds you. The final descent. There's nothing left to guide, nothing left to soften, nothing left to explain. The voice is growing faint, further away, like someone speaking softly from another room. You do not need to listen, you can let it blur. The space between words widens. Long pause, longer pause. Your body is completely at rest, your mind drifting deeper. The shoreline gone, the ocean gone. Only darkness now, soft, comforting, infinite. Breathing slow, heart steady, awareness fading, and now, let go completely, sink into deep sleep. Uninterrupted, peaceful, quiet. There are no more words after this. Only rest, only stillness, only sleep. Good night. And now, we are almost entirely inside silence. No more teaching. No more structure. No more explanations about the mind. Only quiet companionship for a little while longer. If you are still listening, let the words be distant. You do not need to follow them. They are only here to keep the edges of the night soft. The deepening quiet. Notice how slow your breathing has become. It may be so gentle now that you barely feel it. In, soft pause, out. Longer pause. Your body feels heavy and warm. Not uncomfortable, just settled. Your shoulders are fully released, your hands resting without awareness. Your legs still and loose. Even your thoughts feel slow, as if they move through thick, calm water. There's no urgency left in them, no sharp edges, only drifting. A dark, peaceful sky. Imagine again the night sky, but now there are no clouds, only vast, open darkness. The stars are faint. Far away, you are lying beneath this sky. Still, safe. The ground supporting you completely, the air cool and calm. Nothing moves quickly here. Nothing startles. Nothing demands attention. The sky stretches endlessly, and your mind stretches with it. Open, spacious, empty of effort. Letting words fade. The voice you are hearing is becoming softer, more distant. Almost like a memory of a sound rather than sound itself. You do not need to understand anything now. Understanding is finished. Awareness is fading. Sleep is close, very close. Your breathing is slow, your heart steady, your muscles fully relaxed. If a thought tries to form, it dissolves halfway through. Too heavy to continue. Too tired to organize. That is perfect. That is exactly how it should be. The final soft descent. Imagine yourself slowly descending a wide, gentle staircase. Each step is large and easy. There is no rush. With every step, you feel more peaceful, more distant from wakefulness, more wrapped in calm. Step. Soft breath out. Step. Longer breath out. Step. Pause. And now the staircase ends. You step into complete darkness. Not empty darkness, but warm darkness. Comforting darkness. The kind that invites sleep. You are surrounded by stillness. Protected. Held. There are no more images now. No more guidance. Only quiet. Only breath. Only rest. In. Out. Long pause. Longer pause, and now. Nothing. Drift fully, deeply into uninterrupted sleep. There is almost nothing left now. Only softness. Only space. Only the quiet rhythm of breath. If you are still aware of these words, they may feel very far away, like an echo across a still lake, like a memory of a sound rather than sound itself. That distance is good. That distance means you are drifting. Your breathing is slow. So slow it feels automatic, effortless, unnoticed, in, out. A long pause between. Your body feels warm and heavy, not stiff, not tense, just fully supported. Your shoulders have no reason to lift. Your hands have no reason to move. Your face is completely smooth. Even the small muscles around your eyes have released. And the mind is no longer searching, no longer analyzing, no longer reviewing. It is dimming gently, like a room where the lights have been lowered one by one. A room of quiet. Imagine you are inside a quiet, empty room. The walls are soft gray. The air is still. There is no clock, no window, no sound. You are lying comfortably in the center. Nothing in this room needs attention. Nothing is unfinished. Nothing is waiting. This room exists outside of time. Your breathing fills the space slowly. In, out. The room grows even softer. The edges blur. The ceiling fades. The walls dissolve. Until there is only calm darkness again, and you are floating inside it. The weightless drift. You may notice now that you are less connected to your body. Your arms feel distant. Your legs feel distant. Even the surface beneath you feels far away. It is as if you are gently floating inside your own stillness. Not moving upward, not moving downward. Just suspended. Safe. Calm. Supported by something unseen. Your heartbeat steady and quiet. Your breath a slow tide. In. Out. Long pause. There's nothing left to release. Everything has already softened. Thoughts becoming mist. If a thought appears, it does not stay long. It arrives softly, and then it fades like mist in cool air. No effort required to remove it. It simply dissolves. The mind is no longer interested in holding on to anything. It prefers the emptiness now, the spaciousness, the darkness, the quiet. Sleep is not something you must try to enter. It is already wrapping around you. Like a warm blanket laid gently across your shoulders. You do not need to pull it closer. It is already there. The slowest breathing, notice how long the exhale has become. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. A long pause. Again. In, out. The nervous system is fully settled. The body understands it is safe. The mind understands it can rest. You are not needed anywhere else. There is nothing you forgot. Nothing undone that matters tonight. Everything can wait. Everything is quiet. The fading voice. The voice guiding you now is becoming very faint, almost like wind moving through distant trees, almost like waves far beyond the horizon. You do not need to listen closely. You can let it blur, let it stretch, let it disappear between the pauses. The pauses are longer now, the words slower, the silence wider. Soon there will be more silence than sound, and then only silence. Complete stillness. Your body is completely still, your mind nearly still. You're breathing slow and steady. In, out. Long pause, longer pause. The darkness around you feels warm, comforting, protective. There's no fear in it. Only peace, only rest, only safety. You are drifting beyond awareness now, beyond language, beyond thought. And if you are still faintly awake, that too is fading. Softly, gently, without effort. The night holds you. Sleep holds you. And there's nothing more to do. Let go completely. Sink into deep, uninterrupted sleep. No more guidance, no more words. Only rest. Only stillness. Only sleep. There's almost no sound now. Only the faintest trace of a voice. Soft. Distant. Like a final ripple fading across still water. If you are still aware that awareness is very light, thin, transparent. Your breathing is slow and even. So gentle it feels like it is happening on its own. In, a long, quiet pause. Out. Even longer. Your body is completely at rest, heavy in the best way. Warm, still. There's nothing left to adjust. Nothing left to soften. Everything is already settled. A field of night. Imagine now you're lying in an open field at night. The grass beneath you cool and soft. The air calm. The sky wide and endless above. There are no sounds, no wind, no distant lights, just space. The kind of space that feels infinite. You're not thinking about the sky. You are not analyzing the darkness. You are simply there, resting, breathing, existing without effort. The earth beneath you feels steady, reliable, holding you without question. You do not need to hold yourself up. You can let go completely. The quiet between breaths. Notice the pause after each exhale, that still moment, that tiny space of nothing. It is in that pause that sleep deepens. In, out. Pause, longer pause. Your heart continues calmly, your muscles fully released, your jaw loose, your eyelids soft and unmoving. The mind has no interest in forming sentences now, no interest in organizing thoughts. It prefers silence, it prefers drifting, fading into darkness. The field begins to fade. The sky fades. The sense of place fades. There's only darkness now. Not empty, not cold, but soft and surrounding. Like being wrapped in gentle velvet night. You're not floating anymore. You're not lying anywhere. You are simply resting inside stillness. Breathing. Barely aware. Almost completely gone from wakefulness. The final soft drift. If there are any last fragments of thought, let them pass like distant clouds. You do not need to follow them. They move on their own. And they dissolve on their own. Your breathing is so slow now that it feels like quiet waves beneath ice. Steady. Predictable. Safe. In. Out. Long pause. The voice guiding you is barely present. It feels more like a feeling than a sound. And even that feeling is fading. Soon there will be nothing but silence. Nothing but deep, uninterrupted rest. No dreams you must remember. No tasks you must prepare for. Only sleep. Only stillness. Only the gentle rhythm of breath continuing on its own. And now, let everything dissolve. Let the night take you fully. Let go of even these last words. There's nothing more to hear. Nothing more to do. Nothing more to think. Only sleep. Deep. Quiet. Endless. There's only the quiet now. The kind of quiet that feels soft and endless. Not empty. Not lonely. Just wide and peaceful. If a small thread of awareness remains, it is very faint. Like the last glow of twilight before the sky turns fully dark, your breathing continues on its own. In, a slow and gentle rise. Out, a long and steady release. Pause. That pause is where the deepest rest lives. You do not need to go anywhere. You are already there. The softest stillness. Your body is completely surrendered to gravity. Every muscle is let go. Your forehead smooth. Your cheeks relaxed. Your shoulders resting heavily. Your arms warm and loose. Your legs quiet and still. Even the smallest movements have stopped. There is no urge to adjust. No need to shift. Ooh, the body knows how to sleep. It has done this thousands of times before. It remembers. It trusts the process. And so do you. A gentle dissolving. Imagine now that you are surrounded by the softest darkness. It feels like warm water without weight, like air that gently holds you. There are no edges, no boundaries, no sense of distance. Just a smooth, quiet space. You are not separate from it. You are part of it. Your breathing blends into the darkness. Your heartbeat blends into the silence. Even the idea of you begins to soften. There is less and less to hold on to, less to notice, less to define. The last flicker of thought. If a thought tries to form now, it feels unfinished. It drifts away before it can complete itself. That is natural. Your nervous system is fully calm. Your nervous system is fully calm. Your heart steady, your breath deep and automatic. There is nothing left to release, nothing left to understand, nothing left to prepare for, only rest. The quietest breath. Notice one more breath, not to change it, just to feel it. In, soft and slow. Out, long and easy. Pause. Another breath. In, out. Pause. The pauses grow longer. The silence grows wider. The voice guiding you fades into the background. Soon it will disappear completely. You do not need it anymore. You are already drifting deeper than words. Complete surrender. Let the darkness hold you now. Let it wrap around every part of you. There is no edge to it. No beginning. No end. Just smooth, endless quiet. Your body is heavy. Your mind is light. Your awareness dissolving. Even this moment is fading. There is nothing more to guide. Nothing more to soften. Nothing more to say. Only sleep. Deep. Unbroken. Peaceful. And now, the voice disappears. The night remains. And you drift completely into silence. There is almost nothing left now. Only the quiet rhythm of breath. Only the soft darkness behind closed eyes. Only the gentle weight of your body at rest. If you are still faintly aware that awareness is like a distant star, small, dim, and slowly fading, your breathing continues. In, a soft rise. Out, a long, slow fall. Pause. The pause is longer now, comfortable, uninterrupted. The deepest calm. Your body is fully surrendered to stillness. There's no tension anywhere. Your forehead smooth and open. Your jaw loose, your shoulders heavy. Your chest rising and falling without effort. Your hands warm, your legs completely relaxed. Even the smallest muscles are resting. The nervous system is quieted. The mind has dimmed. The world outside no longer matters. Nothing needs your attention tonight. The vanishing of edges. Imagine that even the sense of your body is dissolving gently into the darkness. There are no clear edges, no boundaries, no separation between you and the night. Just softness, just quiet, just the steady rhythm of breath. The darkness feels warm, protective, like a calm ocean at night with no waves at all. Flat, still, infinite. You are floating inside it without effort. No more thoughts. There are no more ideas to consider, no more memories to review, no more plans to make. The thinking mind has stepped aside. It has done enough. Now it rests. If a small flicker of thought appears, it fades before it fully forms. Too quiet to continue, too heavy to carry on, and that is perfect. That is sleep drawing you deeper. The slowest breathing in, soft, gentle, out, longer, slower, pause, again, in, out, pause. The pauses stretch. Time feels softer, less defined. The voice guiding you is barely present now. It feels like silence with faint echoes between. Final descent. There is no more guidance needed. No images, no stories, no counting. Only stillness, only breath, only the quiet presence of night. You are safe. You are warm. You are completely at rest. Let go of even this final awareness. Let it slip gently away. The darkness remains. The silence remains. Sleep remains. Deep, uninterrupted, endless. And now, there are no more words. Only the soft continuation of breath. Only the deep embrace of night. Only sleep. The quiet beyond words. There is no need to fully wake to hear this. If you are drifting, let the drifting continue. If you are deep in sleep, let these words pass like wind over water. Nothing here requires effort. Nothing here needs understanding. This is simply the soft continuation of stillness. Your breathing is slow, in, out. The rhythm steady, unhurried. Your body feels distant now, almost like it belongs to the mattress, almost like gravity has claimed it completely, and that is good. That is how deep rest begins. A gentle return to awareness of safety. Somewhere inside your brain, structures like the amygdala have quieted. The nervous system is softened. The body no longer scans for danger, it recognizes the environment as safe. And safety is the doorway to sleep. When we feel safe, the mind loosens its grip. When we feel safe, muscles release. When we feel safe, the deeper layers of consciousness open. Tonight, you are safe. There is nothing chasing you, nothing urgent, nothing unresolved that cannot wait. Your breath confirms it. In, out. The subconscious at night. As you drift, your subconscious mind is still gently active. It organizes memories. It replays fragments of the day. It strengthens learning. It trims away what is unnecessary. This happens quietly, without effort. Like gardeners working in the dark, tending to thoughts you do not need to supervise. You do not need to help. You do not need to monitor. Your brain knows what to keep. It knows what to release. And in this release, there is peace. A story of the lantern keeper. Imagine a quiet lighthouse standing alone on a calm shoreline. Inside lives a lantern keeper. Each evening, he lights the lamp. Not urgently, not dramatically, just calmly. The light turns slowly, sweeping across dark water. There are no storms tonight, no crashing waves. The sea is smooth. The lantern keeper checks the flame once more. Then he sits down. He does not stare into the night. He does not search for ships. He trusts the light to do its work. And as the hours pass, even he grows drowsy. The flame continues to glow, steady, unwavering, but softer, gentler. The lantern keeper closes his eyes. The lighthouse remains, quiet, reliable. In the same way, your subconscious keeps a small light on, just enough to keep you safe, just enough to keep you breathing, but your conscious mind can rest now. It can close its eyes. The slowing brain. As sleep deepens, brain waves shift, from busy beta patterns to slower alpha waves, then to the even slower rhythm of theta. Eventually, deep delta waves move through the brain. These waves are wide and slow, like long ocean swells. They do not rush. They do not spike. They move steadily, calmly. When delta waves flow, the body repairs. Cells restore. The immune system strengthens. Muscles recover. Sleep is not empty. It is deeply active in the quietest way. You are healing even now, without effort. Breathing with the night in, Feel the chest rise gently. Out. Feel the weight sink deeper. Pause. Again. In. Out. Pause. The pauses are longer now, more comfortable, more complete. You are not waiting for the next breath. It arrives on its own. You're not counting. You are simply floating. The habit of letting go. Many people struggle to sleep because the mind clings. It clings to unfinished tasks. It clings to conversations. It clings to imagined futures, but letting go is a skill. And tonight, you are practicing it. With each exhale, you release. With each pause, you trust. With each slowing thought, you soften. Letting go does not mean losing control. It means choosing rest, and rest is powerful. Rest restores. Rest rebuilds. Rest protects the mind. The river at midnight. Imagine now a slow river under a moonless sky. The water is dark, smooth, almost invisible. There are no ripples, no wind. The river moves quietly, so slowly you can barely see it. You sit beside it, watching, but not analyzing. The river does not rush, it does not struggle, it simply continues. Your breathing is like that river, continuous, effortless, carrying you deeper into night, the edge of dreams. Soon dreams begin to form, not vivid yet, just fragments, shapes, soft impressions. The boundary between thought and dream blurs. Images form and fade, voices appear without meaning. Scenes shift gently. This is natural. This is the doorway to REM sleep. In dreams, the brain weaves stories, it explores emotions safely, it experiments with possibilities. Dreaming is the mind's quiet theater, and you are entering it gently, without force, without urgency. Softer now. The voice guiding you is becoming slower, more spaced. The pauses stretch wider. Words feel heavier, like stones placed gently in sand. Breathing deep. In, out. Long pause. You may already be dreaming. You may already be fully asleep. If so, these words dissolve before reaching you. If not, they continue softly, until they too fade. The deepest layer of night. There's a point in the night where time feels meaningless, where minutes do not count, where there is no before and no after, only a continuous, soft present. You are there now, the body fully surrendered, the mind fully dimmed, breathing slow and steady, in, out. Pause. Deep sleep is like sinking beneath calm water, the surface far above. No noise, no light, just peaceful depth. Your brain rests in long, rolling waves. Delta waves, slow and restorative. They move through you like gentle tides, wide, quiet, healing. The restoration. Within while you sleep, growth hormone releases. Cells repair, energy stores refill. The brain clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system. Tiny channels flush gently like quiet streams cleaning a forest floor. Sleep is maintenance. Sleep is renewal. Sleep is invisible care. You do not notice it, but it is happening. Even now, especially now. The mountain cabin story. Imagine a small wooden cabin high in the mountains. Snow falls lightly outside. Inside, a fire glows softly. Not roaring, just steady. The cabin is warm, protected from wind, protected from cold. You lie wrapped in blankets, listening to the faint crackle of wood. Outside, the world is silent. Inside, everything is safe. The fire burns without effort. The snow falls without noise. You drift deeper into the warmth. There's nowhere else to be. Nothing else to do. Only rest. The final slow drift. Your breathing is almost imperceptible and barely rising. Out. Barely falling. Pause. Long. Comfortable. The body heavy. The mind empty. The night endless. The voice almost gone. Only faint traces now. Soon even those fade. And there will be nothing but silence. Deep. Thick. Complete. Let yourself sink. Further, further still. No resistance, no awareness, only sleep. It's unbroken, peaceful, restorative. The night holds you gently, and it will continue to hold you long after these words disappear. There is nothing more to say, nothing more to guide, only the steady rhythm of breath, only the quiet darkness, only deep, uninterrupted sleep. The quiet. Beneath the quiet, there is a level of stillness that exists beneath ordinary silence. A deeper layer, a softer layer. You may already be there. If not, you are gently moving toward it. There is no effort required, no direction needed. Your breathing continues on its own. In, out. Long pause. The body feels distant now. Not numb, not absent, just far away. As if it belongs to the bed completely. As if gravity has absorbed it. And you are floating just beneath awareness. The brain in deep rest. In deep sleep, the brain's electrical activity slows dramatically. Large, slow delta waves roll across the cortex. They are not sharp or jagged. They are wide and smooth, like slow ocean swells in the middle of the night. During these waves, neurons fire together in calm synchrony. Then they rest. Then they rise again. This rhythm allows the brain to reset. Connections that are too active are softened. Important pathways are strengthened. The mind reorganizes itself quietly. You are becoming clearer even as you drift further away. Breathing like a tide. Imagine your breath as a tide on a moonlit shore. It comes in gently, then recedes slowly. There is no force, no crash, just a steady rise and fall. In. The tide moves toward the sand. Out. It glides back into darkness. Pause. And in that pause, there is complete stillness. Your chest barely moves now, your heart steady and slow, your nervous system fully calm. This is the state of restoration. This is the body remembering how to rest. A story of the sleeping forest. Imagine a vast forest at night. Tall trees stand motionless. Their leaves no longer rustle. Animals are curled quietly in hidden nests. Even the wind has stopped. The forest is not empty. It is alive in silence. Roots exchange nutrients beneath the soil. Cells repair within bark and branch. The forest grows quietly in the dark. You are like that forest now. Still on the surface, alive beneath, healing without noise, growing without awareness, resting without effort. The soft dissolving of thought. If a thought tries to appear, it is softer than before, less defined, more like a shadow than a sentence. It fades quickly before it can gather meaning. This is natural. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and analyzing, is less active during deep sleep. It steps aside. The storyteller of the mind quiets, and without a storyteller there are no stories to follow. Only quiet, only darkness, only the slow rhythm of breath. The warmth of letting go. Letting go is not something dramatic. It is subtle, like loosening your grip on something you no longer need to hold. You are no longer holding the day, no longer holding conversations, no longer holding tomorrow. Your hands are empty, your mind is empty, and emptiness feels soft. It feels spacious, it feels safe. In, out. Pause. Longer pause. The silence grows thicker, floating in the deep. Imagine now you are floating deep beneath calm water. There is no current, no movement, no surface noise. Light barely reaches here. It is dim and peaceful. You are suspended, not sinking, not rising, just resting in quiet depth. Your body feels weightless. Your thoughts are gone. Only breath remains. Slow, automatic, steady. This is deep rest. This is the body's quiet sanctuary. The edges disappear. There's no sense of time, no sense of before, no sense of after. Just this continuous stillness. You're breathing almost invisible. In, out. Long pause. The voice guiding you is barely there. It feels like a distant echo. Soon, even that echo fades. But for now, it rests softly beside you until you no longer need it. The longest stillness. There's a point in sleep where even the idea of sleep disappears. No awareness, no image, no narrative. Just deep, uninterrupted quiet. You are drifting toward that point now. Or perhaps you are already there. Your breathing is slow, gentle, even in, out. Pause. The pause stretches comfortably. The body heavy. The mind completely dim. The brain's night work. While you rest, your brain continues its careful work. It strengthens important memories. It gently reduces the intensity of emotional experiences. It files away information like papers in a quiet archive. Nothing dramatic, nothing loud, just steady organization. Sleep protects mental balance. Sleep restores emotional stability. Sleep recalibrates attention. All of this happens in darkness. All of this happens without effort. You are being restored in ways you cannot see. A story of the snow-covered valley. Imagine a wide valley covered in fresh snow. No footprints, no tracks. The snow smooth and untouched. The air perfectly still. Above the sky pale and quiet. The valley is silent. But beneath the snow, life continues. Seeds wait patiently. Streams move slowly under ice. Roots hold steady in the soil. Nothing is rushed, nothing is forced. The valley rests, and in that rest it prepares quietly for tomorrow. You are like that valley, still on the surface, alive beneath, resting in preparation for renewal. The final breathing rhythm. In, soft. Out, long. Pause. In, out. Pause. The pauses are longer now than the breaths themselves. There's almost no separation between breath and silence. Your body has completely surrendered. Your muscles have forgotten tension. Your mind has forgotten thought. Only a soft presence remains, and even that is fading. The disappearing voice. The voice guiding you is almost entirely gone. It feels distant, thin, like mist dissolving in morning light. Soon there will be nothing but silence. And silence is enough. You do not need words anymore. You do not need images. You do not need guidance. Sleep has taken you fully. Complete rest. There is nothing left to soften, nothing left to release, nothing left to say. Your breathing continues quietly, your heart steady, your body fully restored by darkness. The night stretches wide and protective around you, deep, still, uninterrupted. And now, the voice fades completely, leaving only the quiet rhythm of breath, leaving only deep, peaceful sleep. Good night.